I know they're coming for me. It's just a matter of time. I made the wrong enemies. I've got the wrong friends. And now I could pay for it. I just need to do this now. Get it over with. Sin City: A Dame to Kill For is the sequel to Sin City, and it's been 9 years since the first one came out. I am actually a fan of the first Sin City. I think this is a visually spectacular film, and the plot is really fun. I'm a huge fan of film noir, and the performances are really good too. So how does Sin City: A Dame to Kill For stack up? This film has actually been getting a lot of negative reviews, which puzzles me. I thought this was a very strong film. Not as good as the first one, just a little bit under it, and I can't wait to see it again. Visually, this is just as impressive as the first film. I think that this is so much fun to look at, and really I would recommend it just to see the great visuals that are coming at you. Performances are just as good as the first one. Mickey Rourke is fantastic as Marv once again. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a really fun character named Johnny, and he literally never loses in anything, including poker, which is what he's playing with Powers Booth. Powers Booth plays a great character. He shows up for like one scene in the original Sin City, but this time he gets a much bigger character. He's the villain in 2 of the 3 stories, and he is just fantastic in this movie. Josh Brolin is fine. He's not as good as Clive Owen at all. Clive Owen gave a much better performance. If you've watched the first Sin City, you understand why they had to recast him. And Josh Brolin did play a good role. He played a good part. It just wasn't as compelling as when Clive Owen did it. Surprisingly, Jessica Alba actually gave a really good performance in her section. And hers is the shortest and the one I have the most problems with. But her performance was fantastic. In my opinion, though, the standout of this movie is Eva Green as Ava Lord. She absolutely killed it in this movie. She always has a great screen presence in anything she's in, even bad movies. And her presence was definitely felt in this movie because she brought a different dimension to it that we hadn't seen in Sin City before. But her performance did cause some other things to be lost. That was not her fault, that was in the writing. But her screen presence was undeniably great in this film. The stories are all a lot of fun. They might not be as dramatically heavy as the first film, but the stories are a lot of fun to watch. I do have some negatives of the film, and the first one is the opening. It's not nearly as strong as the first one with the woman in the red dress. And this one, it's Marv. And I love Marv, but it's just like he was saying the same dialogue over and over again. I wasn't sure like what chronological order the events that he was retelling were actually happening in. So for that, I was just kind of confused. But once it started getting back into a pace after the opening credits, and then everything was fine. But it was just very confusing. My other problem with this film is the Nancy Callahan story. It's not the actual story itself. It's how it was paced. It just ends. It just rushes to an ending. It just gets there and it's over. I mean, the first Sin City, her story is the shortest, but it's still about 30-35 minutes long. And this, it just ends. I don't know how long it is, but it just ends. That's it. It just really rushes to a climax, and I did not like how the final scene played out. Not that it didn't play out well, but the way it was shot, just like, boom, it's over. And that was very unsatisfying in a cinematic quality. It was just very unsatisfying. Also, occasionally there was some really repetitive dialogue, but that's it. So in conclusion, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For is not as good as the first one, but it is a great movie. I think it's incredibly underrated. So I want to give this an A-. I want to hear from you guys. Sound off in the comment section below. Tell me what you did or didn't like about Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. And if you liked this video, you can subscribe to my channel. It's just down there, just one click. You'll never miss another review from me. Thanks for watching, guys.